In the heart of a forgotten town, shrouded in perpetual fog, stood the old St. Mary's Hospital. It had been abandoned for nearly 50 years, its walls whispering stories long forgotten. The townsfolk spoke of it with hushed voices, referring to it as a cursed place, a site of unexplainable tragedies that kept the brave at bay. Jess, a history student with an insatiable curiosity for urban legends, was drawn to the hospital. Her recent discovery of an old diary belonging to a nurse who had worked at St. Mary's had ignited a flame within her. The diary spoke of mysterious disappearances and strange occurrences, hinting at a dark secret hidden within the hospital's decaying walls. On a fog-laden evening, Jess arrived at the hospital's gates. Guided by the flickering beam of her flashlight, she pushed open the rusty doors. They creaked ominously, echoing through the empty corridors. The air was thick with dust, cobwebs clinging to every corner. But Jess felt an inexplicable pull, as if the walls themselves were inviting her deeper into their cold embrace. As she wandered the halls, Jess began to hear whispers. Faint and eerie, they guided her steps toward the basement. Always the basement. Her heart raced, but a strange calmness enveloped her, urging her forward. Descending the staircase, she saw the outlines of medical equipment illuminated by the beam of her flashlight. And there, in the far corner, stood a rusty old operating table. The whispers grew louder, more distinct. Voices of lament, cries for help, echoes of past suffering. Jess took a deep breath, steeling herself against the chill that pierced her bones. She reached the table and noticed something peculiar. A collection of old photographs lay scattered across it, depicting patients and staff, their eyes alight with a mix of hope and despair. Suddenly, one picture caught her attention. It was a photograph of a young girl, no older than 10, her face an eerie reflection of Jess's own. Beneath it was scribbled a date, October 24th, 1973, the very day that the nurse had written about in her final diary entry. The entry spoke of a promise made, a pact sealed in desperation to save the dying child. A shiver coursed through Jess. She understood now. The whispers were not mere echoes, but were calling her to fulfill a vow, a plea for closure. She turned to leave, but felt a gentle tug at her sleeve. Heart pounding, she glanced down to see the fleeting shadow of a little girl, her eyes pleading. Without a word, Jess nodded. She knew what she had to do. This place, she realized, was not cursed but suspended in time, waiting for someone to set it free. As she retraced her steps through the hospital, the whispers faded, replaced by an overwhelming sense of peace. The fog outside began to lift slightly, as if acknowledging the end of a long-standing vigil.